Welcome to Voices from the Frontline, AI in Action, in partnership with Microsoft. I'm Ron Thurston, and today we're taking you inside the real story of how AI is beginning to transform frontline work, not in theory, but in the hands of the people doing the work every day. Joining me are Abbie, Sweeney, and Irina Parsina from Microsoft's Copilot Acceleration team, two leaders working directly with the world's biggest retailers and frontline organizations. We dive into where to start with AI, how to cut through the myths, and how simple tools can create powerful human impact. So let's get started. Thank you for joining me.
Yay. Hi, Ron. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. This is going to be so much fun to really learn it from the inside out, because you are literally building the future. And I think this conversation will provide a lot of insight to what is happening in retail, how you're impacting the front line, and I think clearing up a lot of myths. And so that's really where I want to start, is this idea of myth busting, because there's a lot of conversations, but I do feel like that there's a lot of kind of unknown, or I don't know where to start, and I don't know how to use the different tools that are coming at me. So just quickly, Abbie, I'm going to jump to you. So one myth we hear is that it's too complex for frontline teams. Frontline has been a very kind of analog business. And so where do people start in this kind of world of AI for the frontline right now?
Yeah, no, it's a really good point, Ron. And one, we hear this a lot from customers is, okay, yeah, we have maybe some devices and some technology within our frontline, but AI seems to be a big jump and we don't think we should get there right now. And actually, I think that is totally incorrect thinking. And actually, we have the ability to kind of meet customers where they are, whether you're right at the start of your AI journey, whether you're already, well into it and you've already built agents, built workflows. It's about kind of integrating into your existing workflows what you're already doing, and taking some of those low-hanging fruit and iterating on top of that. I don't think it's a one and done, and having to, you put something out there, you deploy it, and then you're done for the rest of your company's life. It's more about, hey, let's start small and let's iterate on top of that. So I think that's kind of what I try to get across when we're working with customers is we can meet you guys where you are at, and we can help you iterate and go on your journey.
Yeah. And thank you. And similar, Irina, this idea of, I need everything to be perfect before I start. And to Abbie's point, you may be, just beginning, or you may be several years into it. So how do you myth bust that idea of, I need everything to be perfect before I jump in with new tools?
Ron, firstly, as someone who suffers from procrastination, this is so close to me on the personal level. Everything needs to be perfect before I start something. And we 100% sort of see some of that analysis paralysis with our customers, because you have this, there does exist the concept of AI readiness. And we'll look at dimensions like the technical dimensions around infrastructure and data, and ultimately the tools, the technology that is powering the experiences. We also look at organizational dimensions and just readiness and cultural readiness for change. And then ultimately the workforce readiness, the human readiness to bring that in. And I think across all of those dimensions, what we're seeing is that perfect doesn't quite exist. And it's even in the sort of fast moving space where AI is, there's something new coming out every single day. And this is technology that is absolutely just improving with every day. There is this idea of readiness is also kind of a bit of a moving target. But I just want to say that there isn't a single customer that I haven't met that do not have something already in place where they are in an AI-ready state, and they can start small, and it's depending on sort of picking the right area for me to go after, iterate on that, make sure that it delivers outcomes, and make sure that as I start in this journey, I'm not just kind of starting because I just want to give this a go because it's exciting. But I'm actually looking to solve a particular problem that either my frontline employees experience or somebody across the frontline workforce is seeing. And we can really scope it out in the right way. And lastly, I'd say that one of the things that I think is there's a lot of ways in which you can get going in this journey. One thing that I feel our platform offers is, in fact, I know our platform offers is that promise of trust, responsible AI principles, which makes me feel very comfortable with engaging in this journey and encouraging my customers to get going. So they have a chance to shape up what that sort of future state looks like, what that idea of being a frontier firm, as we call it, looks like. It's a company that is highly innovative, that has an ability to be really agile at reinventing the way they do business. And to do that, they cannot leave their frontline behind. So I think I really encourage everyone to reinvent the idea, or like to think really careful around what AI readiness means for them in the context of the problem they're trying to solve. You can scope it down, you can start small, you can start learning, and please make sure that you have like the customer side talk to, that they are really empowered to shape up their future there.
Incredible. And what you're describing gives me, and I think many people listening, such confidence, and trust, and where to begin. So thank you for sharing that. I want to dig into some specific tools that are available and that brands are using today. So I want to start with Copilot because it may be the one many people are most familiar with. But Abbie, you have called Copilot for Microsoft Teams the UI for AI. And how do real-time intelligence and this kind of idea of the UI for AI change the day-to-day work for retail, hospitality, and so on? Because it's highly integrated, but how does it change their day-to-day work?
Yeah, well, it's a really good question. I think it kind of follows perfectly from what Irina was just mentioning, because the benefit of Copilot is that it is a platform that spans across every platform within the M365 and D365 ecosystem. You can get it on the web, you can get it on mobile, you can get it in Teams, you can get it on, within D365, wherever you are working and wherever your frontline are working, you can access Copilot. And so what that means is that backend systems, data sources that are feeding into Copilot can change a million times. And because Copilot is the UI for AI, and that is where the frontline workers, the frontline managers are going to access their information, that's the window they see, that is their front door, and that won't change no matter how many times things in the back end change. So I think that is one really, really cool aspect of our platform, is that there is no change for an end user. And to kind of go into some use cases of where we've seen kind of store managers or nurse managers or manufacturing operators really benefit from Copilot are things where it takes away that kind of mundane and routine pieces of their role and gives them more time in front of the customer. Because when we think about frontline workers, especially in retail, hospitality, these types of roles, they are the first impression of a company. And we really need to give a good impression through these frontline workers in order for customers to want to come back and repurchase or continue a relationship with that organization. So the more that we're able to give time to that and take time away from kind of being in the back office or doing processes is a win for organizations. So I think a good example would be things like schedule management, things like operations and reporting, being able to really make those more efficient so that the store managers can get out there or store associates can get out onto the shop floor, makes the roles and makes customers happier.
Thank you for joining us, and a special thank you to Abbie Sweeney and Irina Parsina for giving us such a grounded look at what AI really means for frontline teams. From starting small to building trust to freeing people for more meaningful work with customers, patients, and guests. In our next episode, we'll go even further into the tools, moments, and innovations shaping the future of frontline work. I'm Ron Thurston, and I'll see you there.